Hello, and I am back. All right, quick things I want to go to just to touch on them. Let's go with the basketball tournament. I'm just gonna make it real fast. I have in my bracket. I have Kansas versus UNC for the championship. I have Kansas winning. I know all you UNC homers, you're gonna disagree with me, but that's just how I feel. That's how the field plays out for me. So I think UNC has the easiest way to the championship. So I think Kansas they're gonna eke it out. That's how I feel. I personally I'm an ACC fan, so to say Kansas is gonna win is kind of hard for me, but that's just how I feel. All right. So today let's talk about the AFC East free agency. Um, let's go with teams that had losses. You had Vernon, Grimes, Lamar Miller. They're all gone. Mike Wallace, he's gone. Well, he sucked anyway. It doesn't really matter. Well, Mike Wallace was lost from Minnesota, right? Yeah, whatever. So he's gone, and he's in Baltimore now. Uh, Deacon Jones is gone from New England. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. They traded him away. I mean, they got good value for him. They also, you never know what Belichick's thinking in the offseason. I have no idea. But it seems to always work for him, so that's good. The Jets, they lost their defensive tackle. They lost Cromartie. You know, they have some losses. They lost Ivory. Don't know what's going on with the Fitzpatrick thing. Really, it's at standstill because Fitzpatrick is asking for way too much money, which I hope the Jets don't pay because I mean, how long are you gonna have him? He's towards the end of his career, and he wants basically number one. I mean, like top five quarterback money, which he's not a top five quarterback, so they shouldn't even think about paying him that much money. You could get somebody better and cheaper and younger, then you're gonna pay him if he wants to play and play there and get paid. He needs to get paid. They want to pay him. I think it's like something about like 10 million a year. You better take that. That's the most money you ever made in your life, Fitzpatrick. Take that money and run. You're almost at the end of your career. Just make it guaranteed money, and just stay. You know the Jets are going to win next year. The Jets are going to win. I'm not saying they're going to win the AFC East, but they are going to make the playoffs. They should have won the last game of the year, but Fitzpatrick choked. He couldn't complete a pass. So if I were the Jets, I would take it in the meeting room that look at what you did this game. That's what we can't have. That's why you're only getting paid such amount of money. You know. So let's start off with the Dolphins with free agency. They look good on paper. That defensive line looks good. They got Mario Williams. They they got Sue, and they got Wake. If they keep Wake, which they better keep Wake. That doesn't make any sense. They got Maxwell to restructure his deal, which he had a bad year in Philly. Let's see if he have a bounce back year. And Kiko Alonso, he's good when he plays, but the guy likes blowing out knees and ankles and whatever else he could blow out. So we'll see about that. I mean, and they get Jordan back from suspension, so they should be pretty good. I mean, their front seven, like the whole AFC East, the teams have loaded front sevens. They can lose players, gain players, but their front sevens are loaded. Um, what I think the Dolphins need to draft, uh, they need to draft a quarterback. Tannehill, Tannehill's not good. They lose Matthews. I guess they're banking on Landry and Parker to be, a good duel. I mean, Landry, he's good. He's a good short-handed receiver. Uh, Parker, I haven't seen too much of him to tell you how good he's going to be. I know he was really dominant in college. So, but being dominant in college and dominant in the pros is two different things, especially when it counts on the level of teams you play in college. If you have a great body of work against your Ohio States, your Alabamas, your Florida States, your Oregon's. I mean, Oregon doesn't have a defense, but you know what I mean. If you have a good body of work against those powerhouses that always have people drafted in NFLs, then you know you're respectable. You could basically judge and say this guy's going to be good in the pros because he's done it against these teams continuously in college, so he's doing it. He should just the body of work might change a little bit. Some people have better pro careers though because they had crap quarterbacks in college that couldn't get the job done. That is to be seen about Parker. So yeah, I mean they lose Matthews to Tennessee. Tennessee really needed him. Let's just basically say they had nobody for Mariota to throw the ball to, and that's that's what I feel about the Dolphins. All right, now we have the Buffalo Bills. They're not really doing anything. They're keeping their old players, and they're getting rid of salary. They got rid of Mario Williams, which I thought was a bad move. They got rid of McLeod, which I thought was a bad move. I mean, Darby and him were really good. Darby has proven that he's a shutdown corner his rookie year. He could have won Rookie of the Year, but old boy from Kansas City, I got at the end of the year he stepped up and he got a lot of big interceptions late in games, so he deserved it. But those two corners, they are two young great corners. I know Rex Ryan is happy. He says that Darby is like a young Revis, but more physical and faster because Revis wasn't always known for great speed, but Darby's got great speed. So you know he he's probably happy. He could probably put another corner, draft a corner or whatever they're gonna do. Put it alongside him. That guy's gonna stick to number one every game, and that's good. It's always good to have a corner you could put on an island and you trust him to uh to shut down the number one. And the Buffalo Bills have that, and he's young. This will be his second year in the NFL, and he's just by last year, he's gonna do well. So Rex Ryan, though, you need some wide receivers. I mean, Watkins. What can I say about Watkins? He's like, Deshaun Jackson. He'll go for 200 yards one game, but then the next game he'll get one catch for 5 yards. You don't know which Watkins you're gonna get every game. Uh, Taylor, if he has a good year again next year, that was great. That was a great job you did. EJ Manuel is gonna be forever be a backup quarterback. I hate to say that, but you know I'm a Florida State homer, as you can see. Um, we also, it's really hard. The AFC East, there's really no big moves happening. What's happening? I mean, except for the Patriots this morning, they had a big move getting rid of Jones, which was crazy. Chandler Jones is gone. He's, but they also picked up Chris Long, which was a smart move. I wanted Tampa to get him, but they got Long for a 1 year contract, and let's see how that goes. He stays healthy. That he's a dominant pass rusher. All right. So the Buffalo Bills. Uh, I can't really. I'm not going to give grades on what's going on in the AFCs because it's not complete yet. So I'm just going to talk about their moves. I like the move for the Jets. They picked up Forte. He's like a running back slash slot receiver slash does everything well type of guy. I mean, they lose Ivory. Ivory, him and Forte, if you look at the numbers, the total yardage is about identical. I mean, you're gonna give Forte maybe 15 carries, 6 to 10 receptions a game. He's a matchup problem, and he's physical. He's a physical back. He does have injury problems, but I think that's an upgrade at the running back position. He's a game breaker. You know, Ivory. You know what you get. You're gonna hand him the ball off. He's gonna run real hard. He's going to go between the tackles. He's going to, pound people. He'll catch a couple of passes out the backfield for you, but he's not really consistent in catching the ball out the backfield. So the Jets, they will be well improved on offense. I mean, Fitzpatrick, if they get him, the, the thing about Fitzpatrick is he choked the last game of the year. But the Jets, they should not pay him the money he's asking. They shouldn't. So we'll see what goes on with that. If the Jets are going to overpay Fitzpatrick or are they going to go somewhere else? I mean, their defense is a top 5 defense. Their offense can be a top 5 offense. So do I think they need Fitzpatrick back? Not really. I think you can have a decent quarterback. You can find someone decent. Maybe restart RG3's career. I don't know. There's draft a quarterback, go young with those big receivers and Forte. It's not like you're going to be asking him to do much. You're just going to ask him to put the ball in place and trust your receivers. That's it. The Patriots. I keep talking about the Jones thing. I don't know what they do in the offseason. I don't know what Belichick thinks. I don't know what's going through his head. But the guy is making moves. He's always making moves, always freeing up money. It's like the guy is awesome at doing that. I think they win the East again. Well, because they have Tom Brady. You never bet against Tom Brady. And I'm pulling up my mock draft real quick. All right. So the receivers, they never have great receivers. I mean, they have Gronk. Gronk is a beast. Anybody else, they're just protocol receivers. They're just, if they're on any other team, they don't put up the stats they put up. If they're on, say, New Orleans, they're not going to put up those stats. Or they're on the Giants, they're not going to put up those stats. They're all system wide receivers. Just get to this spot. I'm going to get you the ball. Get runs after catches. I mean, Tom Brady's a machine. Everybody that plays for him, they buy into the system. They buy into, like, I got to get there. I got to get to this spot. Like, that's all it is getting to the spot and being ready for the ball. So here, I'm going to go through my mock draft with you guys. I'm going to go with my number 1 overall pick. Hold on. All right, I got the Tennessee Titans. I believe that they should go with Jake Conklin, the offensive tackle from Michigan State. I know everybody's talking about Tunsil, the offensive tackle from Ole Miss, but I don't know. I know against big teams he allowed a lot of sacks last year, so whatever. I got Cleveland Browns, or what Tennessee could do, they could trade, and let me see. They could trade with the Giants, and the Giants could pick up Ramsey. That's a big... I think Ramsey's the most talented player in the draft, so I think if you're getting... There's no... Really, after the top 10, there's really no real talent in this draft. For me, at least. I don't think so. I got the Browns. If they stay in this order, I got the Browns. They're going to take Ramsey. They're definitely taking Ramsey. The San Diego Chargers are going to take Buckner. The Dallas Cowboys are going to take Bosa. The Jaguars are going to take Jack. San Francisco, I think they'll take Jared Goff. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to take... I think they'll take Floyd, the linebacker out of Georgia. I think they need it. Tampa Bay, I think we're going to take the guy from Florida. I don't want him, but I think that's the best bet. And the Giants will probably take the first wide receiver off the board, Laquan Treadwell from Ole Miss. I think that's a wasted draft pick. Um, I don't think they need. I don't think he's good enough to waste a number one, like a top 10 pick on. But I think for need, they're gonna get him. Uh, Also, I think the Eagles are gonna draft maybe a running back. Uh, Maybe the Cleveland Browns can draft Elliott. Maybe I think Elliott's gonna be the first running back off the board. I don't know if he's gonna be in the top 10. I don't know where he should fall, but I just don't like how the NFL has deplaced the value of running backs. I think he should be a top 10 talent, but is he going to be? I don't know. Cleveland needs help with the running game. They need running backs and they need receivers. That's about it. Cleveland needs offense. They have no offense. So they need to draft a talent. This draft doesn't have quarterback. Whoever you're going to draft in the quarterback position is not good. They're not going to be an NFL starter. So what you need to do is draft talent positions, somebody to take the relief off the quarterback because you're going to go with McCown this year. Wait next year for a quarterback. It'll be a better pool of quarterbacks. You're probably going to get a good draft pick next year. You're most likely going to get a good draft pick next year because your team is horrible. So you'd rather go with the most talented person in the draft, Ramsey, who's going to make plays on defense, or you go with a good stout running back and then hopefully find some hidden gem talent at wide receiver. And that's how I feel about the draft. That's my top 10. If you have an issue with it, then leave in the comment space and I'll answer you. But the draft is it's a bad draft this year. There's more talent on defense than offense. So there might be surprises like from Ohio State, the quarterback. He might be a diamond in the rough. Because you really don't know what you're going to get out of him. You really didn't see too much in college. He won a national championship, but he doesn't have a really big body of work to go off of to see if he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. Can he make all the throws? Does he have a tight spiral? He doesn't have a tight spiral, but he's a big guy. I think he can make all the throws. So the AFC East, like I said, this is gonna be. I think the AFC East might have. Let's go off the draft. Let's go back to the AFC East. I think it might have 3 playoff teams. I think New England, of course. I think the Jets. The Jets can easily go 11-5, and Buffalo could go 10-6 and 11-5. It's all up in the air. Miami, they're not doing anything. Tannehill, I think it's almost his end of his rope. Like if he doesn't perform this year, it's going to be next year somebody else's job. So that's the show for today. I hope you liked what you heard. Let's go Bucks. What?